Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katy. Today we're going to talk about commitment. We're very good at declaring commitment for all sorts of things. We might hear, I'm committed to my career or my work. I'm committed to my family. I'm committed to my pet. Or I'm committed to a cause. Well, these are all interesting commitments, and they're generally dedicated to people outside us or to just external factors. For instance, being dedicated to the career or committed to your career means that you're going to get paid. Being committed to your family and your pet means that you're going to get an emotional response that helps you feel connected. But when you decide to be committed to yoga, you're actually making a commitment to yourself. And that's very important that you do at some point make a commitment to yourself. Now, ways to improve your commitment to yourself and your yoga practice, of course, is to first of all make a date to go to yoga. Pick your yoga time and class and make sure that you turn up. Don't disappoint yourself by making excuses. Make sure you have a yoga mat. You might want to put it at your front door to remind you you have a commitment to yoga and you're going to go to those classes. Make sure you pay full price for your yoga, because if you get it for cheap or free, you may not value it and you may make excuses for not turning up. And of course, visualize the success in your yoga, what you want to achieve. You might want to achieve mobility. You might want to improve your back or your balance. Whatever your goal is, make sure that you keep that visualization in front of you continually as to why you're going to yoga, so you can improve, and this is what you're going to be like when you do improve. And remember to talk about your commitment in the past tense. Don't say, I'm going to do yoga. Say, I'm committed to doing yoga, and that will make all the difference. Okay, join me in a lying down position while we get started. All right, so take a lie down. Just bring your arms by your sides, or you can rest your hands on your belly, which will help you track your breathing. So make sure that you slide your shoulder blades downwards and inwards at the bottom, tuck your chin in slightly, lengthening through the back of the neck, and let's drop the feet out wide. That's it, lovely. Start to breathe into your belly. Bring the breath down from your chest right down as low as you can. And it might help you to count 3 as you breathe in and 3 as you breathe out. Okay, let's bring our hands to our sides now and do some stretches. So let's breathe in. Bring the arms over the head, point the toes away, reach the fingers towards the opposite end of the room, and breathe out, toes towards your hands to sides. Breathe in, arms overhead, big stretch, reach as far as you can, and breathe out, toes towards you, arms to sides. Now this time we're going to bring the arms over the head, and we're going to pause here for 3 breaths. Take 3 big breaths. Expand your ribs out. Pause with the breath in and then breathe out. Bring your toes towards you, hands to sides, and let's bring the arms over the head again. Stack the hands. And this time we're going to walk one foot to the end position, push through the foot, and roll to your side. Nice big stretch. And then roll onto your back, and let's change legs. So the other leg extends and the other leg is in the end position, and roll to your side. And then roll onto your back again. And let's walk those feet to the end position and bring your knees to your chest just one at a time. Now, if you can, link your fingers, place your palms on your knees, and bring the knees to the chest as you lengthen through the lower spine, flatten the lower back again. That's it, lovely. Now let's bring those legs up to the ceiling. That's it, lovely. Now hold the backs of your legs if you need to, but if you can, bring your arms to your sides. And let's tighten the tummy, push through the heels, try to lengthen the legs, and then point and flex. Point and flex. That's it, beautiful. Keep pointing your toes and then pushing through the heels. Now let's bring the arms over the head if you can and just rest them there, and let's draw circles with our ankles. Change the direction of the circle. And then bring those knees to the chest again for a nice big hug. And place the feet down one at a time on the floor. Hands by your sides, we've got a bridge pose. So let's breathe into the belly, expand your belly out, breathe out, navel to spine, flatten the lower back to the floor, and then squeezing into the bottom of the buttocks, you're going to peel your vertebrae off the floor and just rest it on tops of the shoulder blades. And make sure you've got the whole of your foot grounded on the floor. So let's squeeze the buttocks, lift the hips a bit higher, then draw your thighs a little bit closer and lift the hips a bit higher without popping your ribs, and just feel the work at the bottom of the buttocks and around the thighs. Okay, let's breathe into the belly, breathe out, draw the navel in, start to roll down one vertebrae at a time, rounding out that lower back. That's it, beautiful. Let's go back into the bridge pose again. Breathe into the belly, breathe out, navel to spine, flatten the lower back and peel the vertebrae off the floor. That's it, lovely. All right, so this time we're going to toe heel our feet a bit closer and bring the knees a little bit closer, squeeze the buttocks, lift the hips up, and then lift one foot up, reach it up to the ceiling, point those toes up there. That's it, beautiful. Don't let your other hip lip drop. Keep it up nice and high. Let's take one more breath. And bend your knee, place the foot on the floor. Let's lift the other knee up and reach it up to the ceiling. That's it, lovely. Nice and firm with the palms on the floor, shoulders pressing down. Big breaths into the belly. Bend the knee, place the foot back on the floor. Let's lift those hips up one more time. Breathe in and breathe out, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Draw the tummy in. Beautiful, rolling down. Now cross your right leg over your left. Bring your arms just a little bit wider away from the side of your body. And let's pick the hips up and move them over to the right side and then drop our legs down to the left. Now you can pop the foot on the floor if that's a strong enough twist for you. Otherwise, tuck your foot in and you're going to be a twist. Turn your head the opposite way. Now if you find it a little bit strong crossing your legs, just stack your knees. Okay, let's lift those knees up now. Push through the foot that's on the floor. Move your hips back to the center and then uncross your leg. And this time we're going to change legs over. Cross over, push through the foot on the floor and move your foot and your hips over. And let's lower the legs down to the opposite side. Turn your head the opposite way. Feel that nice stretch around the hips. That's it, lovely. And lifting up, let's lift the foot first over to the side, then the hips. Uncross the legs. Then bring the knees to the chest again. One more time. Draw the tummy down. Lengthen. That's it. Now we're going to shoot those legs back up to the ceiling. Bring the arms over the head. Breathe in. Breathe out, tighten the tummy, lift the torso up, arms extend past thighs. Then I'm going to get you to just lower your legs down and lift yourself up to a seated position. Okay, let's bring our legs into wide leg position, and I'm going to face forward so you can see me more easily. Bring your legs as wide as your hips allow. Then, if you find that you're sitting on the back of your sit bones, your tummy will probably cave in and your shoulders rock forward. So we don't want that. We want to take the hands behind us, lift our hips up, bend forward. So you try to put the weight in the front of the sit bones. Once you've done that, you can sit up quite easily with a slight forward bend, which is great. So if you can achieve that, you're stretching nicely around the backs of your legs, and you're strengthening up through your waist and through your back. All right, lovely. So we're going to lift our arms up just a little below the shoulders so we're not using our neck. Breathe in and breathe out. Pull the tummy in and rotate round as far as you can, and then take your left hand outside your right leg. Right hand behind the back, just place the palm down on the floor, gaze at your back hand. If you want to, you can place that arm around your back, and you can even slide your left hand forward and hold the outer edge of your foot. Remember, shoulders down away from ears, pull the tummy in, just check your opposite foot that it is in the right position, because we often forget about it and it drops inwards. So keep that left foot active. Breathing. And now we're going to take the arm that's behind the back and thread it underneath that left arm. Now you can just rest your elbow on your knee, or you can bring the elbow inside the knee and then rotate your rib cage to a side bend. Now if you're up here, it's perfectly okay. But if you can, you're going to be down a little lower, holding your toe, shoulders away from ears, tummy in, and rotating so you've got a nice side stretch around the ribs and the hip. Breathe into the top side of the body. Now lift yourself back up again, and we're going to take our left leg to the centre. The right leg will cross over, and then your left hand on your right shin, and then your right arm over the top. So your wrists and your ankles are crossed. This is good for the mind. Okay, so pull the tummy in, reach forward. Now you can just bend your elbows, rest them on your shins, or if you find it quite comfortable to reach your feet, do so. Now the big stretch will be in the back of the leg that's on the floor. Breathe into your back from the lower back to the neck. Puff your back out with your breath. This will help to energize your body and keep your energy levels up for your yoga. And as you pause in each position, do spend a little bit of time on your yoga commitment and that lovely visualization you've made of where you're going to be in the future. Okay, let's release those feet, and we're going to bring those legs forward so the right leg is in front of the left. Reposition yourself on the front of the sit bones, and then you'll be able to sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to bring the arms out to the side, shoulders down, chest lifted, and bring the arms forward. Rotate your thumbs downwards, and then take your right hand over your left and link your fingers, and breathe in, lift your arms up. Now, if you've lifted up through your shoulders, you're going to get this round look, and you'll be looking at your ankles. So I want you to try and draw your shoulder blades down and lift your chin up. That's it. Now, we're going to bend sideways. Don't let your hip or your knee move. Breathe in, breathe out, bend to the side. Just bend as much as you can, keep both hips on the floor and your knees even. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to bend to the other side. Let's do that again. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out to bend. Breathe in to lift. And breathe out to bend. That's it. Beautiful. Lifting up. And let's bring our arms back down to shoulder height. Release the fingers and bring the hands back down to knees. Lift the knees up, and we've got a boat pose. So hands behind the knees, come onto the balls of the feet. Now remember to lift up tall, shoulders draw down as your chest lifts and tummy draws in. Okay, so let's lift one foot at a time. That's it, lovely. And if you can, you're going to extend your legs, your arms. You can extend your legs if you want to. Now let's walk the hands down to the outer edges of the feet, and we've got a scale pose, so lift your feet up. So not quite so easy to see with my feet forward, but lower your shoulders down, draw your navel in, and puff your back out. So your back is rounded, chin is dropping to chest. Breathe into your back. So you don't need to have straight legs for this one. The knees can be a little bit bent, and that's the better type of stretch for the backs of the legs. Okay, let's bring those heels down. Take your arms, wrap them under your knees, hold your elbows if you can, and slide your legs away. Pull your tummy in. And then if you want to, you can slide your hands from under your legs and hold your feet. So knees are a little bit bent, and that's a much better stretch for the backs of legs. Breathe into your back. Now we're going to hold the big toe of the right foot, or you can just hold the foot itself, and the big toe of the other foot. Now as you lift up, I want you to slide your left foot in, so you're in the end position here. So this is our level one of our archer pose. So archer, there's various versions. So this one's a seated one. If you can, you bring your elbow around your knee and you can lift it up and draw that knee back. It's a little bit stronger. And hold this position for a few breaths. Okay, lovely. Now we're going to bring the right leg in front of the left, sitting up nice and tall on the front of the sit bones. Take your right hand on your left knee, left arm up and over. Take a big stretch, look under your armpit. Breathe into the side. And lifting up, and let's lower that hand down. Okay, bring your legs back into a nice V position, and again sink forward on the sit bones, so just bending forward. Just keep working at it if you're struggling, just keep at it and it will eventually happen. So toes to wood. Remember the visualization from commitment. Get that visualization back every time you start to think you're not going to make it, you will. Just persevere. Okay, lifting up nice and tall. Now we're going to lift the arms up, breathe in and breathe out. Pull the tummy in, rotate around the rib cage, shoulders should be down, and then hand outside the leg. The other hand flats down to the floor. Turn your gaze to look at the back hand. That hand can go behind the back. The other hand can hold the outer edge of the foot. And let's breathe. Now we're going to take the hand behind our back and thread it underneath our arm. So you can rest the elbow on the knee or slide it inwards and rotate. So you're sideways. Now of course, if you are up higher, remember it's okay to be there. You should be feeling a nice stretch around the side of your body with this pose and around your hip. All right, lovely, let's lift up again. Now, bring the right leg in and the left leg over the top. And we're taking the right hand on top of the left, left hand on top of the right, crossing our wrists, crossing our ankles again. Then just sliding forwards, bending the elbows, resting them on the shin or holding the outer edge of the feet. That's it, chin in, shoulders down. Nice big breath. Okay, so let's slide our hands up our legs and we're going to slide the legs in. So now the left leg is in front of the right and place the hands on the knees. Okay, let's lift the arms up again, just below the shoulders, and then bring them forwards. Let's rotate the thumbs downwards and take the left hand over the right, link the fingers. Remember, shoulders are down, chest is lifted. Breathe in, just adjust your back so the shoulders are down, arms are extended. Now, how far back your arms go really just depends on your shoulder flexibility. Let's breathe. Now, let's breathe in, breathe out, bend to the left this time. We're starting on the opposite side. Breathe in and lift, breathe out and bend, breathe in and lift. One more time. And let's lower the arms to shoulder height, release the fingers and float the hands down. Lift the knees up, coming into a boat pose. Hands behind the knees, come onto your toes and lift the chest up. Shoulders drop down and tummy in. All right, so let's lift one foot at a time. This time, if you want to, you can extend the legs a little higher. If you do work into your hips too much, just bend your knees again and extend your arms past your thighs. Now slide the hands to the outer edge of the feet and let's lift them up for the scale pose. Maybe this time I'll just go sideways so you can have a look at what I'm doing. Now I'm bringing the knees in and swiveling around again to face forward. Taking the arms underneath the knees. Now, whichever way you hold naturally, I want you to swap it over so you're challenging the other side. Slide your legs away. And you can release your hands from underneath your legs and place them around your feet. Now you don't have to have the backs of your legs on the floor, they can be a little bit lifted. Alright, now this time we're going to hold the left toe with the fingers and the right toes with fingers, but we're going to draw the right foot back to the hip. Alright, so make sure that that knee is firmly under the arm and then lift the foot up. That's it. Back into our archer. This is a nice strong pose. Remember to breathe. Okay, that's lovely. Let's lower it down. And we're going to slide the left leg in front of the right. And this time the left hand goes to the right knee. Lift the right arm up and over. Now let's just bend sideways. And just if you can, you're just going to rest your shoulder on your knee. But if you can't quite get there without tipping over, then stay a bit higher. And then let's lift up and lower the hands down. All right, lovely. So I'm going to face this way again. I'm still in the cross leg position, so we're going to roll forward onto the knees. Otherwise, legs come out to the side. Unwrap your legs. Now we're going to just bring the toes forward, but the toes wide. Walk your hands back towards your feet, and you should be in a squat. All right, lovely. Now, if you don't like being in a squat, you can just sit in a butterfly pose. That's perfectly okay quite similar stretch. All right, but if you are in the squat position, we can now do a bird pose. So take your hands on a diagonal to the floor, rise up on the balls of the feet, and you can lift one knee onto your elbow and then the other, or you can lift both knees onto the elbows and come into your bird pose. And then land on your feet again. And take your hands to your chest. Okay, beautiful. Now from here, we're going to go into a cat pose. And we're going to lift the knees up sideways. So let's place the hands down. Bring your knees to the floor and walk your knees back. And then we're going to take our leg out to the sides, but I want you to slide your shoulders to hips and tighten the tummy. Let's bring the knee out to the side and lift. That's it, lovely. And then lower it down. Try the other side, lift and lower. This is wonderful for hip mobility. Lift and lower. And other side, lift and lower. Now let's walk our knees back a bit and come into a child's pose. Forehead on the floor, shoulders towards hips. Elbows can be on the floor if you need to. Now breathe into your back, right from the lower spine to the neck. Puff your back out with your breath. And lift up into cat, and then tuck the toes under, down dog. So let's walk the heels up and down, stretch the ankles and the calves. So it's our first down dog. We need to make sure we get nice and warmed up in the legs. Now lower the heels towards the floor, slide shoulders towards hips so they're right away from the ears. Keep the back nice and flat, so we don't want any hunching in the back. We want to keep it nice and flat, tummy drawn in, and just try and bring your chest towards your thighs. Big breaths into your back. Now move your head forward and backward in a yes movement. And then side to side in a no movement. And then walk your hands towards your feet and hold your elbows. So let the upper body hang down nice and loose and move the body weight forward in your feet. Scoop the belly up and underneath your ribs. And then move your elbows and your torso from side to side. And let your arms hang down. So let's walk the hands forward. And you can either walk your feet to your hands or just take a little jump forward. And let's bring the hands to shins and slide the hands up the legs. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest up. And just take a few breaths. Now let's bring ourselves into our mountain pose. Make sure your feet are quite close together, but don't let the bones touch. Spread your toes out. Now let's draw the spine up tall. So from the crown of the head, let's draw up really tall. And as we draw up nice and tall, our tummy draws in. Squeeze a little bit into the buttocks and into the thighs. That's it, lovely. And then just lift the chest up a little so shoulders drop down. Bring your hands a little bit away from the sides of your body. And stretch your fingers out, stretch your palms, try not to overstretch. Let's take 3 big breaths here. Now we're going to do a sun salute with modification. So let's breathe in, sun salute, and breathe out, forward fold. Chair pose, lift your arms up and breathe out, forward fold. Chest on thighs, let your head drop down and flat back. Nice length through the spine, and then forward fold. Step your right foot back, and then take your left hand and sweep it towards your hip and then raise it up to the ceiling. Gaze at your thumb, or look sideways or down at your toes, whatever you can manage. If it's too uncomfortable with the arm reaching up to the ceiling, you can always put it on your hip. Then circle your arm back to your hip and place it on the floor. We're going to stretch into our hips, so you can put your hand on your knee and your back knee down, or you can just slide your shoulders to hips, look forward. This is quite a strong stretch, so see if you can manage it. Lower your back knee down. Flatten the top of the foot and then walk your hands back. Lift your toes up. Hands on hips, bend forward. Now you can stay here, or you can place your hands on the floor, head to knee. You can also challenge your balance by holding your foot. Close your eyes if you can. And then place your hands down, move your hips forward. Walk your hands up to your knee, and then we're going to place our hands behind our head. Shoulders are down, chest lifted, and we're going to breathe in, breathe out, bend to the side. You need to focus on your balance. Good positioning of feet and knee is going to hold you up. Breathe in, breathe out, bend to the other side. Breathe in to lift, breathe out and bend. Breathe in to lift, breathe out and bend. Breathe in to lift, and then let's lower the hands down. Put the body weight forward into your front foot, tuck the back toe under and lift the knee. So getting the weight out of the back knee is going to make it easier to lift the knee. Sweep the hands back, lift up, warrior one. So try and keep those shoulders right down away from the ears, arms reaching up, stretching fingers out, lifting the chest up, and your chin will lift automatically. Now let's breathe in, hands to floor, front foot back into a plank, shoulders towards hips, lower your rib cage, lift up through armpits. Now let's tighten the tummy, little squeeze in the buttocks. If you need to go to your knees, it's fine. Let's take a few breaths here. Let's breathe in, breathe out, plank to floor, and breathe in, cobra, high cobra, and tuck toes under. Lift the hips up, back into your down dog. Now we're going to crouch, look forward. You can step one foot forward, then the other, or just take a little jump with me. And then flat back, forward fold, chair pose, and reach up. Bring your hands to sides and back to chest. Deep breath in and out. Let's do that again. Deep breath in, sun salute. Swan dive, forward fold, chair pose, reach your arms up and breathe out, forward fold and step back, left foot. Now take your right hand, sweep the arm to your hip, circle it up to the ceiling, gaze at your thumb. You can also pick your head position, just moving your head to find where best suits it. Make sure you are pushing through your back heel, lengthening through the back of the leg. Bring your hand back to hip, place it onto the floor, and let's lower that back knee. Oh, before we lower the back knee down, let's come onto fingertips Shoulders towards hips. Back knee can be on the floor though. It's a bit stronger with the back knee lifted. Now lower the back knee down, flatten the top of the foot, walk your hands to your knee. Hands to hips and toes up. That's it. Let's breathe in, breathe out, bend forward. Try to bend from your hips rather than your back. So we don't want to go into a round back. We want to move forward and then relax down. If you can, bring your hands to the floor. Feel free to do that and lower your head down. Otherwise, hold your foot, challenge your balance. Lower the head down, close eyes if you can. Okay, place your hands down. Let's move the hips forward and then walk your hands to your knee. Try and get your ankle and your knee lined up. All right, now this time we're going to bring our arms forward, link the fingers, rotate the palms, lift up to the ceiling. Shoulders are down, chin is lifted. Now let's breathe in, breathe out, bend to the right, then breathe in, lift up, breathe out, bend to the left. Breathe in and lift, breathe out, bend, breathe in and lift, and breathe out and bend. That's it, beautiful. And let's float our hands down to the floor, move the body weight forward, tuck the toes under, lift the knee. Make sure your feet are a hip width apart for our high lunge and lifting the arms up. Breathe in, breathe out, hands to floor. And we're going to lower that heel down, walk your hands sideways into a wide leg stance. And we're going to hold our elbows, lower the elbows to the floor. If they don't quite reach, that's okay. No need to worry. Now you can look at the floor or look between your legs. Tighten your tummy, lift your hips a bit higher. And just let your upper body hang down nice and loosely. Breathe into your back. Now we're going to lower our hands down, rotate the fingers to point under our legs and walk the hands under the legs. Lift the hips a bit higher. So we're stretching around the shoulder blades. The feet should be parallel. Weight forward in the feet. Your head can be on the floor. And then walk your hands between your legs again, and let's walk the hands around to the front. Pivot your feet. Hands on the floor, front foot back to plank. Breathe in, breathe out, plank to floor. And breathe in, cobra. Tuck toes under, breathe out, down dog. And we're going to crouch, look between our thumbs. You can walk your feet forward or take a little jump. Let's bring ourselves into flat back. And then forward fold and reach the arms up, chair pose. Then reach up to the ceiling. Bring your hands to sides and back to chest. And just close your eyes for a moment and remember your commitment to yourself. Your yoga commitment, and take some deep breaths. Holding that image in your mind of your expectation of yourself through your commitment to yoga. Okay, so let's do a little bit of balancing together. We're going to start with a star pose and add on to it. So just place your hands on your hips and take your right foot out to the side. Now we're going to float our arms out to a T position, just keep them a little bit lower than your shoulders, and bend your standing knee, and then as you straighten it, lift your right foot up. That's it, lovely. That's a nice easy way to get into our star pose. Now breathe down to your belly, and make sure you've got the weight evenly through the foot on the floor. Now let's float the arms above our head, and we're going to lean to the side. And just lean as far as you can maintain that balance. And then float yourself back up to a standing position and the arms go down. Let's try that on the other side. So take your left foot out to the side on a diagonal. Float your arms up slightly below the shoulders. Bend your standing knee and straighten. Lovely. Bring that breath down to the belly. Make sure you're balancing nice and comfortably on the standing foot. And then float your arms above your head. Keep your shoulders down. And then soften your knee and just float to the side. Just notice the balance as you lean a little bit more to the side. That's it. Keep the arms lengthened, leg lengthened, and breathe. Now float your foot down, float your arms down. And now we're going to do a half moon pose. So we're going to get into it in an easy way. Take your right foot out to the side again, flatten the heel to the floor. Take your other hand on your hip and just place your right hand in front of your right toes. That's it, about a footprint apart. And then start to float your back foot up. That's your left leg, just to the height you can manage. If you can lift it up to hip height, do. Then reach your top arm up to the ceiling. Turn your gaze towards me. If you can, come onto your fingertips. And perhaps even lift your fingertips a tiny bit off the floor. Okay, so let's put the fingers back on the floor, the foot down, and lift up with the strength of the front leg. Try the other side. Let's point through the ball of the foot, place the heel down, and then the hand goes to the floor in front. Okay, so let's float the back leg up, and then lift the arm up to the ceiling. Turn your gaze towards me. And come up onto your fingertips if you can. And perhaps float the fingertips off the floor. Some days just a little easier than the others. That's it, lovely. And lower your foot down and lifting up. All right, in a moment we're going to bring ourselves down to the floor. So let's come into a wide or a narrow squat. You can have wide squat if you want to. Just bring your feet a little bit wider apart. Otherwise, feet together with me. And we're going to bring the hands to the sides. Nice deep breath in. Lift your arms up and breathe out. Hands to chest. And let's squat down. Pull the tummy in. Bring the arms around the knees. Drop the head down. Breathe into your back, right from the lower back to the back, the neck. Now if this is too uncomfortable, just come down to your knees. Okay, now I'm going to rock my body forward and take one knee down, then the other. So I'm going to just turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. We're in a cat pose. Now slide your shoulders towards your hips, draw your navel up, and we're going to do a stretch, a side stretch. So take your hands and start to walk them forwards. Look around at your back foot and breathe into the side that's stretching. Now walk your hands around to the front again, and we're going to the other side. Can you see how my side is stretching? The further I get around, the bigger the stretch. And look at your toes. Breathe into that side that's stretching. And now walk your hands to the front again. We've got cat-cow pose. So breathe in, draw your navel up, lengthen through your arms, arch your back up as high as you can. Big breath in and breathe out, cow pose. So let the rib cage drop. Tuck your toes under, look forward. Breathe in, cat arch. Lift the back up nice and high and breathe out, cow pose. Let's do that 3 more times. And last one, cat arch and cow pose. Now let's flatten the feet down on the floor and walk the hands towards the knees. Come into camel position. So your knees are under hips and you're going to take your hands into fists, place them just above the lower back and then draw your elbows so they point behind you. Squeeze your buttocks, push your hips forward. Lengthen through the spine, drop chin to chest for more comfort. Otherwise, gaze up or lower your head back. Breathe into the belly. Now take one hand, reach it above your head, then lift the other hand above the head. Let's pause here, shoulders down. And then breathe in, breathe out. Dive your hands down by your sides. Child's pose. Draw your navel up. Breathe into your back from your lower back to your neck. Puff your back out with your breath. Okay, let's walk our hands back into a cat. Now I'm going to face forward so you can see me a little bit easier. We're going to take our right knee forward, tie the tummy, and then cross that leg over the left. Bring your feet out nice and wide and then take a seat. So you should be in the alert pose. So both sit bones on the floor. Now if this is just too uncomfortable for your bottom knee, just extend that leg forward and just bring the other foot here, or you can have it with the sole of the foot facing behind. So whatever posture works best for you, go into that position. Now we have cow face pose. So let's take that left arm up, take a stretch. Now I want you to draw your spine up tall and lower your shoulders down, chest lifts. We don't have the shoulders up near the ears because you'll be looking down at your navel. So you need to draw up nice and tall and look forward, just like mountain pose with the upper part of the body. Now let's take the other hand behind the back. That's our level 2 position. There's no need to do it if it's too uncomfortable. It's a lovely shoulder stretch. So one elbow points to the ceiling, one to the floor, and hopefully you can link your fingers behind your back. If you can't, just rest your hands on your back or hold a towel or a belt. And let's release. Now, you can either just swap your legs over or join me by placing your fists down on the floor. One in front, your right hand in front, your left hand behind. Bring your toes forward and press the outer edge of the feet into the mat. And walk around in a circle with your hands, leaving the legs in the same position, and now your legs have changed over. So we've got our legs crossed over the opposite way now. Now if you didn't quite get that, that's okay, it doesn't matter. Now we're going to take the right hand and take a stretch. So shoulders are down, chest is lifted, chin is lifted. Start to breathe around the rib cage. That's it, lovely. Stretch into those hips. And then let's try the cow face pose, other arm behind the back. That's it, sitting tall. Beautiful, and let's release. Unwrap those legs. Okay, so now I'm going to just face sideways and take the hands behind the knees, lifting up nice and tall. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Draw the navel in, walk the hands down the backs of the legs. Let's bring the knees to the chest, one at a time. And link the fingers, place palms on the knees, and let's just rock from side to side. Let's lift those legs up. You can have your hands behind your thighs, or you can tighten your tummy, push through your heels, and you bring your arms over your head. So this opens up the chest beautifully. Let's rotate our ankles. Rotate them back the other way. This is a nice release after all those balances and standing postures. Okay, beautiful. Now we're going to bring our arms up to the ceiling. Relax the wrists, let the fingers point down, soften the elbows, soften the knees. You can bring your legs a little bit apart. And this is our dead bug. So let's pause here and let all that blood run down back to our heart to be refreshed. Okay, so let's bring our feet into a butterfly pose. You can hold your shins, or perhaps hold your ankles, soles of feet together and draw the knees away. Chin tucked in, spine on the floor. We should be able to feel a stretch on the inner thighs if you can draw your knees away enough. Okay, you can release your feet, place your feet as wide as the mat and drop your knees in, or just come straight down to a butterfly pose. Let's check our shoulder blades. Pressing the elbows in the floor, lift the mid back up, slide shoulder blades down and in, and we should be comfortably on the floor, the collarbones wide. Left hand on heart center, right hand on belly, and nod your chin to chest to lengthen through the back of the neck. Breathe into the belly. And when you're ready, bring yourself into a nice, comfortable, relaxing position with your legs extended, feet dropped out to the side, and remember to soften through the thighs and the hips. You can bring your arms to size palms up, and that will help keep your shoulder blades flat on the floor. Start to breathe down to your belly, and let your body relax. Check in with your body to make sure each part is relaxed, scanning from head to toe. Softening anything that feels a little bit tense. Now you can stay here, turn the video off and relax for 5, 10 or even 20 minutes. And then turn the video back on and end your yoga with me. Otherwise, let's end now. So moving the fingers and the toes and breathing down to the belly. And then walk your feet to the end position and roll to your side, resting your head on your arm. Lift up to a seated position, resting hands on knees or in the lap. Just gently lift your spine and relax your shoulders down. Chin just drops comfortably down towards the collarbones. And lower your hands towards the floor and lift up. Hands overhead in prayer and bring your hands down to your chest and thumbs to heart center. Let's take 3 deep breaths to energize our bodies. Breathe into the belly, ribs, shoulders and back, and breathe out. And again, breathe into the belly, ribs, shoulders and back, and breathe out. Take 1 more deep breath in and out at your own pace. And have a peaceful heart and a peaceful mind and a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. And if you like this video, press like and make a comment. Remember to subscribe to my channel and get further updates. I look forward to doing yoga with you again.